Today, Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer saying the Senate is set to begin work on President Biden's America Rescue Plan as early as tomorrow. But the U.S. Chamber of Commerce weighing in, saying as currently drafted, the plan fails the test, calling for Congress to prioritize areas like infrastructure and education. Joining us now is Neil Bradley, Chief Policy Officer at the Chamber of Commerce, which represents American business. Neil, pretty harsh comments on the stimulus plan. Why?
Well, Sarah, there's a lot to like actually about this recovery package. It helps turbocharge vaccinations. It's going to help get schools reopened, and so there's a lot to like about it. But we've said from the very beginning that it's important that any package be targeted and timely. Since this package was unveiled over a month ago, we've learned that American households have an extra $1 trillion in savings. We've learned that the majority of states have not suffered irreparable or significant revenue loss, which presents an opportunity to make sure that we revise this bill to target the aid where it's truly needed. So let's get this bill done, but let's get it done the right way by focusing precious taxpayer resources on the areas where it can make the most difference, not stick with the plan that was developed before we have the latest data.
I think the administration, though, has been arguing, and certainly Treasury Secretary Yellen, now's the time to go big because there's a lot of suffering out there, whether it's state and local governments, whether it's the unemployed, whether it's people who are looking for jobs. We don't have to use all of it if it turns out too big. But what's the risk, I guess, Neil? What are you guys worried about?
That's actually the problem, Sarah, is that the bill as currently drafted does use all of it, whether it's needed or not. So as currently drafted, it's going to send money to some states who actually have had year-over-year revenue increases, even amidst the pandemic. And so this is the time where we can actually make some smart policy decisions to focus the resources. This is a false choice between doing nothing and doing everything that's currently on the piece of paper pending before the Senate. We can make smart policy decisions to target the money where it's needed. The 10 million plus unemployed need an extension of unemployment benefits. Should we automatically extend those through the end of August or the end of September? Or should the extension be tied to the unemployment rates in the states, phasing them out as we get more Americans back to work? Those are kind of the targeted smart policy decisions that frankly are too often missing in the political debates in Washington. But if we're serious about confronting the pandemic, if we're serious about being responsible with taxpayer dollars, are the decisions that need to be made. And the thing is Republicans and Democrats are saying that. So you're already hearing from a lot of Senate Democrats who are saying, hey, let's tweak this bill to make sure that we're focused on getting the resources where they're needed. That's exactly what we're saying at the U.S. Chamber.
So Neil, focus is one thing, overall size is another. Focusing just on the size part of it, are you fearful because you think it would then lead to the need for higher taxes in a year or two or higher inflation in the short to medium term?
Yeah, we've gotten into a bad habit here in that we've decided on what the number should be, and then we're backdooring the policy into the number. The right way to do this is to figure out what the real needs are and let that drive where the number is. The problem is when you start with the number and backdoor the policy, if you're overshooting on that number, that means those are resources that aren't available for the infrastructure bill that we all want to do next. Those are resources that are not available for the massive job training program that we're going to need to help those who remain unemployed get the skills necessary to get back to work. And so we should start with getting the needs and the policies right. Let that drive the number. And if it turns out the number is less, that means that we're going to have additional resources later in the year for those other key priorities. It's very much what Larry Summers said, several weeks ago.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.